All right, so I spent the past 8 years building operational infrastructure for seven-figure agencies, acquisition systems, fulfillment process, and lately a lot of AI-driven workflows, which leads us to this clickbaited title of the video. What I'm seeing in the market right now is a fundamental shift, and most agency owners are completely missing it. Y Combinator recently announced that they're actively investing in AI-native agencies. And think about that for a second. Venture capital money flowing into a space they've traditionally avoided because the economics didn't make sense. Low margins, slow fulfillment, and growth required more people. This alone should tell you something. The traditional agency model is dying. And it's not just me trying to be a smartass. They're actively placing a bet against the traditional agency model. So let me break down what it actually means and why it matters if you're running an agency. The traditional agency model operates on one simple equation. More clients means hiring more people because everything's done manually. So here's what actually happens. You sign 5 new clients today. Great. Revenue goes up, but now you need to hire 2 more VAs to handle the technical setup, 1 project manager, and someone to handle the increased task volume. So you end up with higher cost, more communication complexity or general complexity to manage everything, and your margin is just shrinking day by day. So what happens is your revenue and cost, they just grow linearly, but complexity grows exponentially. More stress, more chaos, more communication overhead, and at the end of the month, there's barely more profit than before. So if you're running an agency doing between 500K to $1 million a year or more, this probably sounds familiar. You have operational chaos, data scattered everywhere, you're hiring more people, and your profit margin keeps shrinking, sitting somewhere around 18 to 30%. And your entire day is just answering questions, managing client communication, putting out fires and playing assistant for everyone. So you don't have the time to think about your business strategically and focus on high leverage tasks. And then there's this constant AI FOMO. What works versus what's just marketing bullshit on LinkedIn. So how do we solve that? Smart agencies that Y Combinator is talking about right now, they're building AI-driven systems. Either they're productizing their service to deliver it at 20% of the typical market price, with better quality, faster delivery, and better retention, especially with churn being one of the main issues the agencies deal with when working with SMBs, or they're able to increase their price while delivering more value faster and with more profit to reinvest into growth. And those agencies, they are not hiring more people to handle volume. They build systems that handle the volume automatically. So at a certain point, you're able to add new clients at almost no cost, compared to a traditional agency where cost and revenue are directly correlated. You have a system gap, what I call it, between the traditional model and the AI-first approach. And it doesn't mean your service is just a template or low quality. It means you're able to deliver the same quality faster and with less human error. And that's the system gap between agencies that scale through people and agencies that scale through systems. A traditional agency with, let's say, 20 people might do 200K a month with just 10K revenue per employee, which is around 18 to 30% margin if you're doing well. But if you're able to productize, let's say, 2/3 of your fulfillment that does not rely on human input, you're able to achieve a much higher or sustain a much higher level of scale. So with that AI-first approach, you're able to achieve 500K a month easily with a team of 10 to 12 people, because most of your delivery is just software and 1 or 2 people managing the whole system. And that means 40 to 50K in revenue per employee with a 50 to 60% margin. And that's not the ceiling. It's what's possible right now with the tools we have. So if you're charging a client 5K a month, after payroll, software, office spaces, you're left with, let's say, 1,500 as your profit. Meanwhile, your competitor running AI-first approach, with the same 5K, they're able to keep 3,500 because, like I said previously, the cost of delivery is basically software and 1 or 2 people managing the whole system. They're making more profit and they're able to reinvest that money into growth. But here's the kicker. They can also afford to undercut you. Let's say they drop to 3K. Now, you're not making any profit and they're still able to compete and steal your customers. And this is happening right now across every service category. And the tools are getting better every single day. So the real problem isn't that you need more customers or better marketing. The real problem is how your business runs. It's built on a system that can't compete with the next generation of agencies. You're not just competing on service quality anymore. You're competing on operational efficiency, speed of delivery, and cost structure. Lots of smart people are already experimenting with this model. And maybe in the near future, we'll see true AI native agencies. But as of now, we're pretty close to that being a reality. So let's take a look at cold email agency as an example, which is an industry that most of us are pretty familiar with. You have multiple team members working on each account full-time, setting up domains, configuring DNS, scraping lead lists, databases, setting up Clay, writing copy, setting up email accounts across different providers, managing the whole infrastructure, reporting, and just the onboarding takes, let's say, 15 to 20 hours of manual work. And with the AI native model, or at least the current iteration of it, you're able to automate 80 to 90% of that work. So let's say a new client signs up. Great. Now the system triggers the whole workflow to set up all the domains, configure the DNS settings and records, research the target market of your client based on the onboarding, research the ICP, scrape the lists, set up the database for the leads, generate copy based on pain points and the research it's done, scrape lists, validate them, upload them to Instantly or SmartLead, and at the end of the onboarding, your team member can just review the copy, review the lists, and approve the go live. So what took us 15 to 20 hours in a traditional model is now just 30 minutes and one person that manages the whole system. And it's already possible right now. It's not even AI native model, it's basic automation. So the entire backend is ready in under an hour. And by the way, if you need help building something like that, or just curious how you can implement AI-driven systems into your agency, click the link down below. I've been building systems for agencies for the past 5 to 8 years. So we've built different systems across lead gen, operations, client delivery, like the inbound acquisition system we built for Marcel, who went from random acquisition to spending more than $500,000 on ads, generating over 8 million in revenue in just 3 years. Here's a little screenshot. That's 500K, generated thousands of leads. Cascade Strategies was relying just on referrals. With our intent-based system, he's generating meetings and leads from Fortune 500 companies like Coca-Cola, Microsoft, who's also worked on fulfillment systems like this e-com agency we're currently working with. I won't reveal the name for privacy reasons, but we were able to go from a team of 20 people with 0 systems, relying on referrals and kind of being a traditional full-service agency with low margins, to a lean team of 4 with more profit than ever before, and projected to hit 1.5 to 2 mil this year with clean system, clean delivery. We did the same for Felix and his B2B lead gen agency. He went from 20K to 60K MRR in 1 month with just 2 people and one simple productized offer. It was just 1 hour in fulfillment time, which is crazy. Anyway, look, this isn't the first time we've seen technology democratize expensive services. 15 years ago or 20 years ago, having a website meant paying developers tens of thousands of dollars, months of development time, custom code, hosting infrastructure, design work. And now with tools like Wix or Squarespace, it takes $200 and an afternoon of your time to have basically the same result. The same shift is happening right now with high-end services. What required specialized teams and months of delivery can now be productized and delivered through AI-driven workflows and software. So growth isn't tied to headcount anymore. It's tied to how good your systems are. You can add 10 new clients with almost 0 cost of delivery because your workflows handle the volume with consistent delivery. And I get it. The first pushback is always, but my clients need custom work. And I'm not talking about sacrificing personalization or custom delivery for rigid automation. The tools available right now let you build custom, flexible, agentic workflows that are able to handle complexity and deliver personalization at scale, pull in custom research, and use the right context to deliver the same quality of work. Basically what a website builder like Webflow allows you to do with drag and drop compared to pure custom code. You're able to achieve the same custom feel, but for a fraction of the price and obviously much faster. So the difference is you're doing custom work, but without the overhead of starting from scratch every single time. The infrastructure advantage doesn't stop at service delivery. You can apply the same approach, the same thinking to your sales operations, the way you acquire new clients, new talent, or how you measure performance. Traditional agencies run on scattered spreadsheets, disconnected tools, manual tasks. You're constantly chasing data, updating reports. With the AI native approach, you're able to replace that chaos with an internal system where you can centralize your data around sales, marketing, or fulfillment into one system to track your KPIs, get the right data and the right context for the AI to work with. So you're not only having the advantage of having the right numbers, the right context every single time when you make a decision, but you're able to feed the AI the right context around your operations, your clients, identify patterns between your most successful clients and your not so successful clients. Use that data in terms of where those clients came from, the touch points, the messaging you're using, what made them convert, and use that in your marketing. If you don't have the right data, you're not able to make the right decisions. And with the help of AI, you can use the data that you're not able to process yourself. So if you're able to pull everything together, you're not making decisions based on your gut feel. You're making decisions based on the right data, the right KPIs, and most importantly, you're able to provide the right context for the AI to be meaningfully integrated into your workflow and not just a random AI chat window. So the tools like n8n, Claude Code, Make, or general AI agents are becoming the foundation of this new agency model. And Y Combinator is pushing this model because they see what's coming. Because they realize, which is not a secret, the traditional agency model is capped at how big you can get because you're always relying on adding more people, and complexity does not scale. People mean complexity. Instead of selling hours, you're selling outcomes delivered through proprietary workflows and AI. This is why venture capital suddenly cares about agencies. The economics now look like software companies. High margins, delivered at scales, and minimal cost to serve new clients. So here's what I think will happen over the next couple of months or maybe years. Basically, the market will split into two camps. Agencies that deliver premium services that require or justify high-touch human expertise, and AI native operators that basically democratize everything else. Basically, what happened to websites, to reference the previous example, it's not a luxury anymore, and the barrier to entry is almost non-existent. And that will happen for most of the services out there. And if you're in the middle, you're getting squeezed from both sides because you're not able to compete on value or price. It may happen sooner or later, but that's where I think the market's headed. All right, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe you're already transforming your agency setup or noticing a slight change in your specific industry. Either way, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.